Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Goldblooded podcast, episode 21. You know what I'm saying? Here with my guys, man. It's been another week full of L's, week full of disappointment, a week full of tribulations, a week full of trials, and a week full of ass. I don't know what else to say. I'm KB, your host, you know what I'm saying? And I got my guys with me, Gifted and Denver. You feel me? But before we get into this week of trials and tribulations and another repeat of the same issues to talk about, because I feel like I've been repeating myself, we gotta ask the fellas, how are we doing this fine week? How was your week? How was your weekend? Type shit.
For me, better week. My throat has been in peril since the last pod. Had me a lot of honey, a lot of elderberry, and now my throat feels great. You know what I'm saying? So feeling pretty good, man.
Type shit. Yo, Denver, talk to me, big dog.
Well, a little better, a little better. I was more at ease because apparently my mom told me that she actually talked to someone like in like the medical field. They said that there's actually some sort of stomach bug going around, so that put me at ease a little bit more, strangely. But yeah, other than that, I mean, good. A little tired, clearly, but
Aren't we all? Aren't we all, man? That's crazy.
Nah, man.
I'm
awake.
I've been okay. Honestly, I'm just waiting for I'm waiting for uni to be done. This week is my exam week coming up, so yeah. 4 exams. Then I'm home free, and I got break. So I just gotta make it through this week, and I think I'll be good. But yeah, honestly, let's get into this because it's just nothing but mid again. So the Warriors have a 3-game stretch this week. Technically 4, but we're not covering the 4th game. We're going to save it for next week, which is happening tonight at 8:30. By the time you see
hasn't
this,
happened yet.
Yeah, by the time you see this, the game is going to be already done, and so yeah. But the Warriors played 3 games this week. Again, technically 4, whatever. We played Denver, we played Phoenix, and we played Minnesota. Starting off with Denver. Now, Denver was a bit of an interesting one. I think this is the game where, if I'm not mistaken, did Steph come off the injury report and actually appear back in the game? Because I remember this is the first game where it was the new minutes for Stephen Curry, like the new rotational minutes. And we'll get into the box score, we'll show the box score and stuff like that. But the Warriors lost 115 to 119 in a epic choke fashion. And when I say like this game was vintage 2023, 2024 Warriors, I mean that by all facets. So the Warriors start off slow. As do the Nuggets. Things start to get picked up a little bit. You know, the Nuggets and their on and off start to go crazy. The Warriors bench comes in, gives a little run, a spark. Then the Nuggets punch back. And it was back and forth like that the entire game. The Warriors are making their runs. They were continuously just in the game. And from that point on, just everything decided to crumble. Legit crumble. Yeah, it was nasty. It was nasty from the 3rd quarter onto the 4th quarter. You can see here, Jonathan Kuminga had a pretty good game, 19 points out 9 of 18 shooting. But outside of that, it was pretty inconsistent, even for Steph as well. Steph was 8 for 23, 4 for 15. Probably the most aggressive game out of this week, and just could not find a rhythm in this game. He has been dealing with a bilateral knee injury, which, as we're going to talk about a little bit more in this episode, I think is becoming a lot more serious than some people think. But talk to me, guys. What did you guys think of this game?
Well, it's a theme that we're gonna get to in the 2 other games I believe we played. I don't even know. I've lost count. Man, we scored 2 points in the last 4 minutes of the game, and that is gonna be a huge point of emphasis in the upcoming games that we're gonna talk about.
It is going to be
holy.
Nah, man. It's like this 4th quarter of this game was just very like bad. There were so many moments you could really hint at within the last few minutes. So just to put in perspective for those of you who didn't watch or only watched the highlights, the Warriors had the biggest lead at one point of like 7 with about 6 minutes or something like that. And 11. We had like a comfortable lead where like they were punching, but we were making buckets.
It was 11 points.
Oh, 11 points to 6. I think it was 7 and like 2 or something like that.
It was a double digit lead, of course.
Okay. And the Warriors just go scoreless. Now, I just want to preface this before we continue the pod. Remember the term scoreless, because this will be a point of emphasis during today's episode. Just remember the word scoreless. But the Warriors go scoreless for like a long stretch in the fourth quarter. Steph couldn't really find his rhythm again. B Pods was making really bad mistakes. And even defensively, like, it was just poor. I remember what sparked the run for Denver was that huge three from MPJ where B Pods fouled him on a 3-point shot. Again, trying to close out, trying to be a good defensive player and whatnot. But it was just poor from the jump. Like, it was just poor from the jump. A 9-point lead with 5 minutes left. That's just inexcusable in my opinion. I know today's NBA, 10 points can be evaporated, but still, you got to control the game much better from the Warriors.
So this was back-to-back plays. Keep that in mind.
Golden State shooting 50% from the field. A three, Podziemski, no. Rebound, Gordon. 48% shooting for the Nuggets. Porter, triple, got it, foul.
Like, that's just poor. That's just poor, respectfully. And the fact that
I'm not saying that he's the reason that we lost the game, but it was clearly
during that last stretch, he was.
It clearly gave the Nuggets momentum that they needed.
And another point of emphasis in this game that was really a blow for us in this game. I don't know if it's Kevon Looney, who to me was like one of the top 3 Warriors on the floor today, fouled out. And the reason why he fouled out is because he's guarding this man who's currently, chat, when I say he is currently on a tear, oh my God, what he is doing right now as a player, he's the best player in the world, bar none, like, respectfully.
He had 5 steals.
Like, nah, don't get too caught up in the steals. He wasn't playing defense like that game.
That's what.
I'm not really, like, I'd gas if it's like Dyson Daniels, but like Nikola Jokic steals are like random swipes that just, it's like RNG, like, you know what I mean? It's not really like anything too crazy. But to go back to the game, man, Gifted, I know you were sick because throughout this whole week, I don't think you were here for any games besides Minnesota. But you did say you watched some of this game, so I need your analysis, man. I need the Gifted thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Steph Curry. This waiting around shit to the fourth quarter to get your offense going is killing this team. It just is. I don't think there's any other way around it. For him to be that good at the end of the game, but not in the other stretches where the game is close in margin, I gotta tax him for that. I understand he's not healthy, but I've been saying this for a minute. Denver, I think you would also agree with me. If he's not healthy, don't play him, because him playing through the injury now is not going to make things easier. I know we might lose a ton of games. Guess what? It's the Western Conference. A lot of teams are losing games. Ironically enough, Golden State isn't that far back from the 2 seed right now still. So to me, I would rather have Steph in the best condition than have him just be out there not really playing super hard at his best level into the fourth, because it's not enough. We're still losing games. At the end of the day, if the hedge on this team is to still play Steph Curry and we're still losing games, there's no point if we're going to still lose. If anything, giving some of these other players more usage to raise their trade value probably makes more sense. And I know that we'll get to it, but I do think that's a part of why Draymond's being benched currently for Kuminga. I also think it's because Draymond is playing through injury, which is another thing. Our 2 best players are playing through injuries. But in this game specifically versus Denver,
our 2 best offensive players.
Yeah, right. Which is so wild for me to say,
so
but
crazy.
That's what it's been. In this game specifically though versus Denver, like I really don't like piling on the guy. I don't. I know that like he's being asked to. No, honestly, I'm done with the weak shit, because I don't like. I personally have not been asking B Pods to drop 20 points per game. I'm not asking. like I'm just asking for B-Pods to shoot the ball. And I feel like I have to ask for him to shoot the ball every game. And then it's like it is such a baseline level of expectation to ask an NBA player to shoot the basketball. And then when he does shoot the basketball, he doesn't make it. So it's like I don't know. Like, I'm seeing so many opportunities where B-Pop should just shoot the ball, and because he doesn't, he turns the ball over. He drives without a passion to finish. He's also not a great finisher at the basket. He can't beat his defensive player consistently. And because of that, that contributes specifically to our offense being bad. Because there's moments where he passes the ball, right? And instead of taking the shot that's there, he resets it, which leads to another player having to make a quick decision, which leads to either another pass, which could go out of bounds, or to a missed and bobbled shot, which is bad, right? So to me, that's really hurting us. Again, I've said it before. I don't think our defense has been the core problem. I think it's been our offense. It's been terrible.
To be fair to you, Gifted, you did make a couple of good points there. For one, I agree. I was kind of disrespected the fact that you didn't mention my name when you said I think Denver would agree to this, but not me. For some reason, you thought
My fault. I was
be injured and just running around out there. I was actually one of the first people to be like, I low-key think this injury is kind of serious because one, when he immediately pointed out that this is something that if you don't take care of immediately will nag you, you can already see like they're taking care of it.
Yeah.
I like give a ton of respect to the Warriors medical staff, but it's nagging him, respectfully. Like even when he's managing it right now, you could tell. Like we'll get to the Minnesota game, which had like a key play, a prominent play where I thought to myself, he is not 100% because his north to south movement, as much as it is already regressed because of how like his explosion like has just regressed, his stopping, like just his decel, it just looks significantly worse, in my opinion, ever since he got this injury. Where even when he wants to stop on a dime, it's not as fast. He can't stop as hard because it will like give him pain or something like that. It just doesn't really look that right, for one. And to your other points, yeah, B-Pods, bro. He's just horrible. Like I don't know like where else to go from because defensively he's cool, but he still has even his bad moments defensively. We just pointed out the situation where he fouled a player on a three. Sometimes he might not be in the right spots, but offensively he's legit, in my opinion, one of the worst offensive players in the NBA right now, like without a question. Because when you take away the fact that his ability, he can pass the ball, there is like, tell me if you guys disagree. There is no facet offensively where he excels at or is a positive on the floor outside of passing. There isn't one.
We were having plays where Steven Adams was in drop coverage and he was dribbling into Steven Adams in drop coverage instead of shooting off of the screen.
And I don't want to make it like a weekly thing where it's like we talk about B-Pods every week. Oh, you guys are just being OD on B-Pods. There's other players who need to be spoken about for sure. The fact that TJD reeks of absolute piss. The fact that Moses Moody is getting inconsistent minutes, but even when he plays, he's been kind of wishy-washy. Lindy Waters hasn't been that reliable. Buddy Hield, the guy you've been praising the first 10 games, the last few games, he hasn't been living up to par. There's a lot of things to talk about on this team, but the consistent factors is the guy that you're relying on and the guy that's getting the biggest leash out of anyone on this team, literally outside of Steph and Draymond, is Brandon Pajemski, a second-year player that brings no value offensively, no matter how you see it.
Yeah,
what you need right now
our
is
coaches literally said, "I don't care if the shots are going in."
Literally, like he doesn't. Your coach giving you the cosign that you don't care if you're not shooting or making shots is insane. Because when you point out things like, oh, he does everything else offensively, what is that, Steve Kerr? What else is he doing offensively? Because to be honest with you, right now, you're currently coaching the worst offense you have ever coached ever since you stepped foot into the Golden State Warriors. Right now. This is the worst offense you could have ever coached. I don't care what.
There's no way this offense is worse than 2020. I'm sorry.
I don't exclude. I'm talking about like an actual healthy roster. Everyone is there. This is still worse than 2021 because at least 21 Steph was able to get you out the mud. Steph can't get out the mud. B-Pod sucks. Kuminga's inconsistent. Andrew Wiggins isn't a reliable second option. and Draymond Green's your best your second best offensive player. Do you know how bad an offense has to be for Draymond Green to be your second best offensive player when you put everything in a vacuum? That's horrible. That is horrible, bro.
Got 10 charges.
So
leading the league.
Again, it's the same pattern with these guys, right? It's the same issues. It's a revolving door. It's the same thing, and you're going to continue. And I promise you, you will continue to have these same problems if you do not address them come February. If you don't address these problems, you'll never win a championship. I'll stamp that. You'll never be deep in the postseason. I'll stamp that. And you'll continue to waste away Stephen Curry years until he retires for you to just hold on to draft picks, which, again, if you're trying to compete right now, those draft picks still don't mean anything because you're not going to get a pick when you're playing this mid. You're just going to be an 8th seed team with a late first round pick. The fuck? Like, what are we even wasting time for? And look, the Warriors have put themselves in a great area where they legit have no idea what they want to do. No idea. And the option is very clear. Go get you a second option. There's a player that you gave up on, that you traded away because of an altercation, that is currently having his best season. And the thing that you need the most, he was there with you and you traded him away too. And
a part of that, by the way, was like obviously the Draymond stuff, but even beyond that, as a roster in total, it was the Klay Thompson stuff as well, which is another player you moved off of the very next season.
Exactly. That's another player where it's like, yes, is Klay Thompson a self-creator? No. Is Klay Thompson a legitimate number 2? No. But is he a better scoring option than everyone on this team? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, the issue with Jordan Poole while he was still here was even going beyond the Draymond incident. You had to ask yourself, is there any situation where Jordan Poole would start on this team? And
yes,
at the time that wasn't really an option because Klay Thompson was still on the team. He had just had arguably the best season of his career. He hit over 300 threes in 2023. I will not continue to be gaslit about that season. That was one of the best seasons of his career. And so when you take a look back at that in comparison to where we are now there is a spot for him to be starting. And so
I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to get too sidetracked. I agree. If you want to say offensively it was his best season, me personally, I still think 18-19 is his best season. Like, that's peak Klay Thompson in my opinion. But even when Klay was hitting all these volume threes, and even with Jordan Poole during that year, who wasn't really having his best year, I would have still been more comfortable just having a Jordan Poole caliber player on the floor because he can play himself out of bad situations and bad games. Same thing with Klay, but he just provided more in terms of not only can I shoot the ball, I'm not a Klay Thompson level shooter, obviously, but I can space the floor for you. I can play in the pick and roll. I can speed up the game. I'm able to handle the ball and run an offense. The thing that you drafted B-Pods at the 18th spot, the thing that people were calling B-Pods one of the best players coming into the draft, one of the most valued players in the league, the Warriors really landed on a gem. He's not doing any of the things that you drafted him for. He's not shooting the ball. He's not playmaking. He's just passing the ball, attacking closeouts that aren't there. And on top of that, literally missing every open look. And he doesn't even want to take contested. How are you an NBA professional basketball player? Like, genuinely. And we'll get to this next game after I say this. How are you a professional basketball player, an NBA professional basketball player, who refuses to take semi-contested shots? Like, refuses. Like, he only takes shots where it's either the end of the shot clock or he has like 4 feet of space. But we need to we need to get into this next game, bro. I'm not trying to see this nigga's quotes. He's a liar, bro. He's a liar, and he doesn't deserve to be on this team. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm done with B-Pods. I'm gonna continue to say it until he's gone. I want this nigga off of my team immediately with the absolute swiftness. Oh, wow. But to get into next game, and this is more of a positive note because every time we play these guys, we don't lose.
Yo, I just, you know, what I'm saying? Like, it is so funny how a week ago, like, we just knew, like, listen, like, and people were like, nah, man, like, you can't, like, no. I can almost guarantee we played it right. I don't care who playing. Steph and Draymond both didn't play.
Yeah,
and we won this game.
Yeah, I was streaming with Dom that day, and we had gotten the notification that Steph was going to be out too, and he asked me, it was like, oh, so how do you feel about your team right now? You know, like the typical Dom voice, And I was like, I mean, it's Houston. Like we're still somehow gonna win. I don't know how it's gonna happen,
It's
but
gonna happen.
it's
Yeah, it definitely did happen for sure. I'll be honest, I was when Steph went out, I was a bit skeptical because I'm like, Houston's been kind of playing some good basketball. I know the Warriors are still like relatively pretty good, but I'm just not really a fan of no Steph, no Draymond hoops for 1 through 4 quarters. And when I say this was ugly basketball, hideous basketball. Like it was from both teams. Offensively, it was horrible. Now the two bright spots for the Warriors came from your wings. It was Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins.
Kuminga
Wiggins, and
had
Andrew.
33 points.
Kuminga absolutely hooped during this game. And funny enough, it's like I called out the game from the jump. I know, Gifty, you weren't here for this one either, but I said Kuminga's gonna have a good game this game. Like he just is. He just is. And he proceeded to have 33 points, shooting the ball well, 7 rebounds, a block. He played phenomenal basketball 1 through 4, and he was our closer for that game, in my opinion. Honestly, he was our closer. Shout out to Kevon Looney as well too. He played like Kevon Looney. We got to give him some praise, man. Honestly, because he's been so good for us this year. Like TJD's been inconsistent. He's been our only consistent 5. It's like the world just flipped again. Like last year, TJD was extremely consistent and Kevon Looney was some mid. But this year, like flipped on its own. TJD's been really inconsistent, and Kevon Looney's been great. Like defensively, offensively, he's been fantastic. But
I do want to be honest too, because like I feel like at the beginning of the season, I thought Trace would have been a better fit because the passes he was making were very, very good, and his layups weren't as bad. But now it's like, dude, he can't finish, and the turnovers.
He was actually like a good finisher. It wasn't even like it's not that bad of a finisher. He was a good finisher for us. Like he was plate finishing really well. The passing was there too. But my biggest problem with him was always the screen setting. Like if you're a big on the Warriors, you have to know how to set screens.
You have to know how to screen. Yeah, that's
you
true.
have to. And when you set good screens, it even helps you get easier layup attempts because you created the separation between the on-ball defender and the on-ball guard. So when you do that and you clip the ball handler, you're setting yourself up for easy points at the rim, right?
And it's gonna sound nasty, KB, but like this is why for years I've been saying like I would love a reality, and y'all gonna laugh, clip it, I don't care, but I would have loved a reality where Rudy Gobert could be on this team because like everything that we talking about when it comes down to screen setting and just like the defense. Now it's always gonna be pretty but I promise you, Rudy Gobert is finishing at the basket better than Looney and better than Trey Jackson-Davis. Y'all gonna laugh at me, but I'm telling you, it's the truth. I promise you it is.
Am I gonna laugh at you? No, but am I gonna act like I didn't hear what you just said? Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy.
So moving on, without any addressing to whatever the fuck this nigga just said.
Absolute hater, man.
Yeah. So this game, 93-99, it was a good little win. You know what I'm saying? A little nice, and it snapped the Warriors' losing streak. It was a good little win. Like I said, Jonathan Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, the stars of the show that night, they held down the fort. And it's been a consistent factor for the Warriors that your defense has just been really good throughout the 12-3 stretch. Excuse me, up until now, it's been tremendous. Your defense has been very, very good. It's just this is the worst offensive team that Steve Kerr's ever coached. Like it's insane, bro. But nah, Denver, talk to me about what did you think of this game?
What do you mean, bro? We're 12 deep. I don't understand why.
And that's one of the problems why this offense sucks. But talk to me about what did you think about this game in particular?
Well, I feel like we talked about it in like the little like post game after. Jonathan Kuminga was very aggressive. It seemed like he actually figured out for once like what he actually needs to be doing or like what the mindset that he should have coming into the game. And he was just I don't even here. Hold on, let me pull up the shots.
Yeah, his shot chart tonight was actually pretty good too. Even the threes, like he was confidently shooting the 3 ball really well.
Yeah.
Like I just felt like he wasn't really hesitant to do anything tonight, and it was like really solid from him, right? but not a lot of the guys on the floor today was really, really good. The Trace, this was not Trace's best game, I think, in my opinion. Like you can see it in the plus minus, but even when you watch the game, he wasn't particularly that really good, honestly. Another thing that Trace has been struggling with too is the rebounding. Like you can see it. B-Pod's had 11 rebounds. Shout out to him for that. But Trace is getting 0 rebounds is what's crazy to me.
That to me was a
Yeah. Down.
See, like when he gets the ball in transition here, like this is where I love him. Like I want him to get more of a bag, like an inverted euro, a hezzy cross, free dribble. Because like no one wants to meet him at the rim, especially when he's getting downhill like this. They do not want to meet him at the rim at all. So it's like you gotta love stuff like this. Goes under the ball screen.
There was something else about this game too. Like down the stretch, Houston just allowing Kuminga to get the switches was hilarious to me. By the way,
but they're switch heavy defense, so
man, he was killing that all night. Jalen Green was getting cooked, man.
Yeah, he was. I ain't gonna lie.
Honestly, on both ends, he was getting cooked offensively too himself.
Man, bro. Let's move on to this other game though, because I really want to get to this game real quick.
Only he was doing that shit
Kuminga
on my fantasy team.
He was hooping that. Even the closing layup was ridiculous too. But to get to the final game, man, the final game of this week. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to see these niggas tonight. I cannot wait.
It get cold like Minnesota. Cold like Minnesota.
I'm be honest. As you can see, you can see it on the screen. Warriors lost 90 to 107. This, to me, my opinion, I'm just be honest here, and I'm gonna speak my mind. Right? The worst Warrior game offensively. The worst offensive Warrior game, and I'm excluding, don't say anything about 2020. Remove that. That's not, you know what I'm saying? The worst offensive Warriors game I've seen in the last 5 years.
Oh, stop the cap, nigga.
It's the worst offensive game.
Stop the
worst,
cap.
Worst one.
We literally saw the Hornets game last year. What are you talking about?
That game, no. This is worse.
No, it's not.
This is worse.
No, it's not.
This is worse.
This is worse than the Hornets game last year?
We had a 6-minute stretch, just to the viewers listening. We had a 6-minute stretch of not scoring, another 4-minute stretch, and another 4-minute. We had a 14 out of 48, just to put into context that.
Yeah, so that's almost 30%
divided by 48 times 100. That is 29.16. So 29.16% of the time that was spent of the 100% that was on the floor, we did not even score the ball.
So like
we had 81 points before the benches got cleared.
Yeah, that's 81 points. We also have a game where we played the Raptors, I think in 21, unless you're not counting 21.
Yeah, I remember that game too. This is worse, bro. Like this is worse.
77 points in that game.
This is still worse.
Oh man,
this is still worse.
At least with stuff on the floor, you can definitely say, because
it's worse than 77 points scored in the game. Period.
Steph didn't play.
Okay.
Like Steph played, bro. He was on the floor.
Okay.
You can't sit here and tell me this is not the worst offensive game you haven't seen from the Warriors in the last 5 years. You can't.
It was pretty bad. But man,
bro, pretty bad is an understatement, bro. Let me just chat, just to listen. The Wolves in this game, you probably think to yourself, man, the Wolves probably had a really good defensive game. You know, they did. Respect to them, and we see them again today at 8:30. Again, I'm excited, but also a bit nervous because I don't know if my team has men or boys, because the way they ain't got no backbone. You feel me? The Timberwolves shot 45% from the field, 45.5%. They shot 33% from 3, and they shot 92% at the line. What killed you in this game was timely buckets and turnovers. Your offense was the biggest concern in this game. And you're probably thinking to yourselves, man, the Timberwolves are a really good defensive team. They've been, playing much better recently. They were able to stop the Warriors and just hold on to them. No, I usually give a lot of credit to teams when they're able to stop us. I don't mind saying that. Respectfully, I'm not saying it for this case. I can honestly say, out of how many turnovers do we have tonight? Out of the 22 total turnovers that we had, 16 out of the 22 were probably unforced errors. I can confidently say that. Where it's just a bad pass, not reading the right read properly, just making dumb decisions on the ball. Unforced turnovers. And they didn't even capitalize that much off of the turnovers. And to sum it all up, so we can talk about the defense just a little bit more before we talk about the treacherous offense that we witnessed. Anthony Edwards had 30 points on 11 of 18 shooting. He had a really good game. But for some odd reason, he had 4 turnovers. For some odd reasons, the Warriors decided not to trap him on high ball screens early. Because you guys watch more than just the Warriors. I know I do.
Mhm.
I like watching Ant. I really enjoy his game, really high on Ant. They did not trap him on ball screens at all. Barely. Every time they did, it resulted in a turnover or a missed shot. Literally. Majority of the time. That's just poor coaching. That's horrible coaching, bro. This is one of the worst losses that I've seen, and I was so frustrated watching this game. But I want to hear what you guys have to say, man, because I could go on and on about this game, bro. I swear.
I put this up because what sticks out to me is not just the 26-4 run. That's insane. It's the when you put it all together, we scored 4 points in a 9-minute span.
9 minutes of basketball, bro.
So 18 seconds left in the first quarter to 2 minutes and 54 seconds left in the second quarter. We scored 4 points. And then this one, 21-4 run. This is in the fourth quarter. We had cut the lead. I think it was 77-80. We had cut the lead to 3. And 10 minutes and 1 second to the 3.5 minute mark. This is about where the benches got emptied. We scored 4 points. 4 points in 6.5 minutes.
Like, and the worst part is we have individuals, right? We have individuals, and I'm sorry. Like, when I think about the game, my head actually gets flustered, bro. Like, I'm not even trolling. We have individuals who are considered Warriors fans who saw that game and said the problem, and I'm not even trolling. I'm quoting verbatim. They said the problem was defense. They said, wallahi, I'm not even lying. They said the problem was defense. Now you're telling me in a game where you hold a team 33% shooting, sub 50%, you didn't let them get to the line extremely, like, a lot. Yes, you did allow their best player to have a solid game, but outside of that, everyone else is either mid or bad. You're telling me you hold a team under 110 in today's NBA, and you're telling me the defense was an issue. If you were honestly sitting here and telling me the defense in this game was the issue, I question your mental stability. Genuinely, I'm being so hard. I'm being so honest. Like, I'm genuinely questioning it, because there's no way you saw what we saw and you think to yourself, yeah, I think we could have done better. Get some more stops. Like, bro, come on. Like,
they scored 107 points.
Like, come on, bro. We scored 90 points in regulation. 90. Like, we unloaded the bench with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter with 81. I should even include the other 9 points that the rest of the bench scored. Your actual, like, guys that you normally play collectively scored 81 points in a NBA basketball game in 2024. Do you know how crazy that is?
Oh, man.
Gifted, bro. Talk to me, man, because this is insane, bro. This is insane.
I think the offense is bad, and I think this is just another example of what we've seen. But I also think the adjustments from Kerr again, which I'm not going as hard on Steve Kerr as I was last year. He's had some good moments this season, but this is what we're talking about. The fact that we literally said okay, 6-point game, Steph's gonna come out the game. We're gonna go down more. He took Steph out, and we went down by 20. Like it's just
To be
and
fair,
we
this shit
saw.
was crumbling with him on the floor too, man.
And no, listen, I agree.
It's also even a bigger argument to why we should have some sort of scoring option
Agreed.
next to Steph, because when he has games like this where he's not 100% or clearly not 100%, he's not even moving if Jaden McDaniels is guarding him. Like, there were so many plays, especially in the first half, where Steph saw Jaden guarding him and he literally just shut down because he was like, I'm not expending energy trying to cook this guy off ball. And so when you have games like that, don't you think that it would be beneficial to have anybody else on the team that can dribble the ball?
Yeah, it actually
I
would
mean,
be
that should be
extremely
B-Pods,
beneficial.
but ooh.
Stop bringing up this nigga's name, dog.
It should be.
He's not gonna do the things that you're gonna ask him for.
That too. That was one of the craziest things.
32.1 offensive rating with Steph off the floor, which
And
is
a
why as soon as he
115
checked off the floor, we're down 20. It's crazy.
It's comical, bro. It's comical, and it's
It is
insane how even when he's playing this bad, he still impacts the offense so much that when he steps off the floor, it just plummets to lows that we ain't never seen before.
Oh,
Like, when have you ever seen in the modern NBA the offensive rating, even for a minute, be 32?
it's pretty bad.
That's horrible.
I do want to point out again, I still refuse to say that this game is the worst. I've been doing my Googles while we've had this conversation. Let me show you this game real quick. I'll put this on the screen if you guys remember this.
You
one.
cannot go band for band with this game. I'm sorry. It's impossible. No matter what you show me.
So we also had a 15-point quarter in this game. We only scored 82 points total. Steph did play in this game as well.
Was this that game in 22 where Steph shot like 5 for 25 or something stupid like that?
This is the 5 for 24 game for Steph.
I'm still saying this game is worse.
How?
I'm still saying this game is worse.
I don't understand why are
Yes.
it's comparing trash to garbage. Like, I don't understand.
This is like hot trash. What we saw yesterday, or no, 2 days ago, a nuke. A nuke was set at the Chase Center. That's exactly what we saw, bro. Because that wasn't that legit. I have never seen offense like that in my life. Plus, like, you can. I'm not gonna lie. When I watch 2022 Warriors, even when we don't like play the best offensively, you can just chalk it up to shot variables. This wasn't a shot variable type game. This just was not. I'm gonna be honest. We've been consistently seeing some ass. This was just ass on steroids. That's like literally what it was.
Almost like moves have to be made.
It's almost like we need a second scoring. Are we ever gonna have an episode where we don't say?
I don't think so.
We don't say.
Let
me just see the keywords. Steve Kerr is a keyword that always brings up.
It's gonna pop up. Yeah.
Scoreless.
Yep.
That's another word. Scoring option. Bend the defense. I think those 4 phrases and words
always come up every episode.
Will always be used. And the
B-Pods will come up every episode.
The day, chat, I'm telling you right now, the day we don't bring that up is the day when we're actual legitimate contenders, or we're just terrible. Like we're just talking about like who to talk. we're talking about like college, college guys who we're gonna be able to draft and shit. You know what I'm saying? So we're just like, bro.
Are we going to talk about the Kuminga starting over Draymond stuff now?
Oh yeah, let's talk about it. What do you think about that? The fact that do we give a round of applause or a slap in the face to Draymond Green? Which one do we do?
I think this is a trade value move, if you ask me. Because
I think it is too, but like a part of me just wants to suplex him. I'm not gonna lie.
Suplex Draymond?
Yeah,
because he's willing to go off the bench now. But he socks another young player in the face. Like,
no,
bro,
that's completely unrelated, though.
It's not related, man.
Yes,
It's not. Like, obviously, it goes to show the maturity and the therapy, I guess, worked. That sounds crazy. But it goes to
maturity, maturing from 32 years old to 34.
Hey, bro, listen, bro. Some of our great friends once actually, I'm not going to say that because that's going to put us in crazy implications. Never mind.
Never mind. Why would Draymond come off the bench back then, though? We're not good enough for him to do that. Like, listen, Poole. The only way Poole could start is if Klay Thompson went to the bench.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Bro, I'm just saying. I just think, me personally, this is just my opinion. Now, don't kill me when I say this. There's a lot to blame for Draymond Green, a lot, but I can see what he's trying to do right now. I can see what he's trying to do, and I gotta applaud him for it.
No. I see what the Warriors are trying to do. Listen, I want to be very, very clear. If Kuminga leaves this team for nothing because Brooklyn has the money and they choose to overpay his ass in offseason or whatever that looks like, they look stupid. So I think strategically before the new year, giving him a runway to perform and put up all these big numbers or whatever it is a ploy to raise his trade value. Now, will they actually trade his ass? Probably not, because like Denver loves to say, they're going to raise his value, be like, oh, look, he's good. We got to keep him. So that's probably what's going to happen, more than likely.
Listen, bro, at the end of the day's going to end. That's what I've been saying these past couple of days.
At the end of the day is going to end. It's fucking hilarious. That is funny.
At the end of the day is going to end. You feel me? The Warriors stink. I have no other words. Like, I really love talking about my team, but I'm getting so mentally exhausted from saying the same things. We don't have a scoring option. Steve Kerr had to use just offense. Steph, you don't look right. It's the same talking points for the past like 3 weeks. Like, literally. Like, I'm losing my mind, bro. Well, I swear to you, Chad, I'm actually losing my mind. And the fact that B-Paw said, I'm studying the in-between step. Wait, hold on. Let me show you guys this. No. I'm actually just getting annoyed now. No, I'm legit just getting mad.
Wait. He was like, oh, they don't have me. They don't have me on the. They don't have me on the 2028 Olympic roster projection.
I'm studying the game. Look at me. Oh, tween. He didn't do any of this. None. Not a single thing. No tween. No step back. All he does is just attack closeouts. He doesn't do anything at all. Anything. What does he do? Someone tell me.
Charges.
Somebody tell me, bro. But let's go on to the fixtures for this week, man. Let's go on to the games for this week.
Funny as hell.
Go on to the fixtures for this week, bro, because I'm fucking disgusted by this shit, man. Oh my god, bro. So the Warriors schedule, so these are the games for this week. We got Minnesota tonight at 8:30. You feel me? Again, where do we watch these games? Playback.tv/Goldblooded.
Later today, yep.
Live.
8:30.
Feel me? Yep. You're not gonna see this like today, but you're gonna see it tomorrow. But still, hear me out when I say watch these games. Feel me? So we play Minnesota tonight, 8:30. Then boom, we have 2 days off. I was gonna say we ship ourselves. We go to Houston for the in-season tournament game at Houston, 9:30 TNT, nationally televised. It's gonna be a banger. Then Thursday, we on a back-to-back. So right after that, we're in Memphis for that as well. And then Saturday. So we have 4 games this week from Sunday to Saturday. We have 4 games where we see Minnesota twice, Houston, and Memphis. All of them playoff teams. Some may say contenders. What do you guys think, the record will be?
Well, we lose tonight. We starting off with an L. We beat Houston. We beat Memphis.
Oh, sorry. Bro, my bad. Because I thought to myself for some reason that this was a back-to-back, but I didn't see the dates.
Yeah,
we have a week between Houston and Memphis. Sorry, that's
exactly.
Yeah, in theory, if we beat Houston, then we go to Vegas.
Oh, you're right, because that's the NC.
So we'll have like I think like we'll at least play one more game.
I'm not gonna lie, going to Vegas might be good for this team because they get more rest, don't they? Or like, am I wrong about that?
I don't know.
Because like all the 4 teams go to Vegas, so like I'm assuming they're there until the end of the cup shit, which is probably like a week or something like that. Teams are all one of the playoffs. Yeah, I gotta say this, man. I think we lose tonight. I think the rest from Sunday to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday gets us back ready for Houston. I think Memphis is going to be listen, this team is an in theory team, so you're not wrong. But yeah, I have us beating Houston. I have us beating Memphis. Low key, I think I have us going on a 3-game winning streak, but I think we lose for sure tonight. That's my take on it.
Interesting.
Sorry, guys. Just got caught up with something. My bad. Okay. Sorry, my bad. I was like getting spam messages, bro. I had to put my phone on D&D. But yeah, to go back to these games. So just to clarify again, Sunday, Minnesota tonight. That's tonight. Wednesday, we have Houston, and if we win, we move on to the in-season tournament part, which I'm assuming we play another game in that same week, but we don't.
But it's in Vegas. Yeah,
it's in Vegas. So does that game count as well?
Yeah.
Like, is it a regular season game?
Yeah, every game counts until you get to the final in-season tournament game.
Gotcha.
That one doesn't count.
Okay, gotcha. So we do that. Boom, bada bing, bada bang, bada bop type shit.
Bada bam.
And if we win, we move on. If we don't, next week we play Thursday, and we'll have a pod probably by then talking about the in-season tournament game, everything like that. Then we'll play Memphis, and then we have 2 days or a day, and we play Minnesota. Then we play Indiana. Then we play the Lakers, Laker Nation, on Christmas Day. Now, these games, the 2 games that we play this week, I'm going on a limb here. I'm putting my neck on the line. See my neck? I'm putting it on the line.
I was about to say, because initially you said I'm putting my neck on the line, and no neck was in the camera.
You see this? You see this neck jab? I'm putting it on the line.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
I say we go 2-0.
Okay, so you have us beating Minnesota and the Rockets.
I think the Rockets is a given.
Okay.
I think we're beating Minnesota today.
Okay, but like, okay, technically speaking, we have 4 games until the next podcast, and we're doing the next podcast on Sunday.
But who do we play if we advance?
In the instant tournament?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It has to be decided between like 2 teams, right? So if
wait a minute, is it OKC? Is it
for sure OKC, chat? Who does OKC play? Who does OKC play?
So technically, our schedule could change based off the
Mavs. Okay, so if we win, we play either Dallas or Mavericks. You know what? I'm going on the limb again. We lose.
Look,
we lose. Nigga.
Listen. I'm not doing no in-season tournament projection. I'm looking at the games we have in front of us. If that changes, cool. We have 4 games. We are losing against Minnesota. Then I have us winning 3 in a row.
Yeah, I have us winning 4. What about you, Denver?
Fuck, that's
we gonna break this streak.
God damn,
we gonna break this streak.
I only have us going on a quick 3 game because we get some rest in between Sunday and Wednesday, and we play the Rockets. That's really it for me.
I don't know, man. I'm just here. I'm just here for the experience, man. I'm just
the vibes, yeah,
man.
You just here for the vibes type shit?
Yeah, man. It's basketball, you know.
Yeah,
nah, fuck all that. I ain't gonna lie.
A lot of chains have been snatched. So then I guess in the stretch, you have us going what maybe 2 and 4?
Something like that, maybe 3 and 3.
Okay. Word.
I have a feeling. I don't know. I just don't like that Laker game, man.
I mean, that's a while from now. I'm not thinking of no games until our next pod.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait because our schedule gets very, very cooked very soon. We ain't gonna speak on it yet, you know.
Yeah, our schedule is cooked. I ain't gonna lie.
It is bad, but I mean,
it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
We'll wait.
We will wait for surely. But with that being said, that's gonna wrap up today's episode. I was only about I don't even know how long, maybe an hour.
About an hour.
Yeah, nothing really too crazy. Again, I want it to be a little bit more extensive, but honestly, it's the same talking points, and we can continue to bore you guys with all the numbers, and I'm gonna just keep it a band. We're mid until we make a legitimate change, or till the losing stops. You're gonna hear us say the same thing because it's a continuing cycle of ass. So I'm sorry.
I will say though, at the very least, for those of you who tap into every podcast, our thumbnails are advancing because last week we said Chase had to be changed. We haven't changed. Jonathan Kuminga started now, so
yeah, we do. We can see Jonathan Kuminga starting. I think he started last night, and he's gonna start today again. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But with that being said, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on the notifications to be notified when we next upload. I've been KB. My guys, Gifted Denver. Check out the link in the description for the Twitter, for the YouTube. Not the YouTube. You're gonna see this on YouTube for the playback, for the TikTok. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff, man. But with that being said, we'll catch y'all niggas in the next week's
Tonight.
episode. And yeah.
Peace.
Sayonara, man.